This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for December 14, 2022. And in the news this afternoon, a man who allegedly assaulted a media worker to return to court February 16. Michael Marlin, charged with the assault of media personnel, was ordered to reappear in court on February 16, when his case will again be mentioned. The new court date was set after the probation officer yesterday, during Marlin's appearance in the St. Catherine Parish Court, informed the judge that he attempted to settle the matter through mediation failed. Attorney at law Stefano Matthews, representing Marlin and the court, decided on the new date. Marlin, 35, otherwise called the Big Head of Homestead, Spanish Town, St. Catherine, is answering to charges of assault, occasioning bodily harm, and malicious destruction of property. He allegedly assaulted a videographer and damaged his camera on November 20 at Homestead Primary School in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. He was subsequently arrested and charged by the Spanish Town police. Police charge driver involved in deadly Palisados crash. The police have charged Alexis Estev, the driver of the Toyota Prado motor car that was involved in Sunday's fatal crash along the Palisados main road in Kingston. The crash also involved a Toyota Probox in which all 4 occupants were killed. Those killed have been identified as 53-year-old taxi operator Delroy Grant, his wife Camille Stevenson Grant, 57-year-old Rosemary Roberts Banton, and 18-year-old Zachary Heslop. Zaestev, 52, a Russian national, has been charged with various offenses arising from the tragic crash. The action against him was confirmed on Tuesday night by Assistant Commissioner of Police Gary McKenzie, head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch. The police report that about 5:50 Sunday morning, the Prado was heading towards the Norman Manley International Airport when the driver failed to keep left and slammed head-on into the Probox, which was being driven in the opposite direction. Police constable in Manchester double murder and robbery probe released. A police constable who was in custody in relation to an ongoing investigation into crimes including a double murder and armed robberies in Manchester in recent days has been released. Sources say the policeman was questioned and subsequently released on Tuesday night. The constable is not assigned to the Manchester division. 4 suspects, including 2 teenagers, were apprehended by the police at a roadblock minutes after the latest robbery of a supermarket in Poros on Friday night. Meanwhile, a Chinese national who operated the supermarket and another man were killed by gunmen during the robbery. Following investigations, the policeman was taken into custody. Taxi operator shot dead in Manchester. Police are probing the murder of a taxi operator at his home near the northeast Manchester southern Trelawney border on Tuesday night. The deceased has been identified as 46-year-old Fitzroy King, otherwise called Breda or Doggy. A police report said King was gunned down around 8 p.m. On arrival, cops found King lying in a pool of blood. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Statistics from the police show that up to December 12, Manchester recorded 54 murders since the start of the year, compared to 32 for the corresponding period last year. Teenager charged for fatal stabbing in St. Mary. A 17-year-old boy has been charged with murder after he allegedly stabbed a teen at a beach in Pagee District, St. Mary on Sunday. Dead is Rashawn Scott, otherwise called Rush, a 16-year-old student of Cox Street in the parish. Reports from the St. Mary police are that about 3:30 p.m., Scott and a group of friends were at the beach when the assailant, along with his friends, approached him regarding a long-standing feud. An altercation developed and a ratchet knife was reportedly used to stab Scott in his chest. Scott was taken to hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. The 17-year-old was charged after an interview. His court date is being finalized. Murder suspect captured by Hanover police. A murder suspect who has been on the run for 8 years was captured Tuesday by the Hanover police. Eric Clark, otherwise called Legacy, was held during a police operation in Cash Hill District. He had been on the run since the 2014 murder of a man in the area. The victim was allegedly chopped to death by Clark. Superintendent Sharon Beeport, head of the Hanover Police, told the news that the police stepped up their operational activities in the area following reports that Clark had been terrorizing women in the community. He is expected to be charged later today. Police High Command probing alleged rape of woman in police lockup. The Police High Command is probing an incident in which a 19-year-old woman was raped inside her cell at the Pedro Plains Police Station lockup in St. Elizabeth last month. Marvin Montague, a 28-year-old lifeguard of Newcomb Valley District, has been charged with raping the teen. It is reported that in November, Mr. Montague and the 19-year-old female were detainees at the lockup awaiting charges against them. One morning, the lifeguard was let out of his cell to clean up the area. It is alleged that he removed the padlock from the door of the cell occupied by the teenager and had sexual intercourse with her against her will. The 19-year-old filed a complaint with the police on December 6 after Mr. Montague was released on bail. An investigation was launched and Mr. Montague was on Tuesday arrested and charged. Edgerton Newman happy with government's outstanding traffic ticket offer. President of the Transport Operators Development Sustainable Services, Edgerton Newman, is pleased that the government is granting motorists the opportunity to clear their outstanding traffic tickets by January 31. Newman called the initiative an amnesty and stated that while it would place some taxi operators and other motorists under pressure to find the funds to pay the outstanding fees, the move by the government was expected. TODS has accepted in principle government granting of an amnesty to motorists with outstanding tickets. TODS has always been asking for the wiping of the slate to accommodate the new Road Traffic Act, therefore this was expected. The major challenge is that persons now have less than 50 days to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay the government, as some motorists have in excess of 1,000 outstanding tickets, many of which are tickets paid already but have returned as unpaid, Newman said in a statement. Meanwhile, Newman called on the government to extend a public education campaign to the public on the Road Traffic Act 2018 and the Road Traffic Regulations 2022, which are slated to be implemented in February. According to Newman, the government seems to lack interest in the public education campaign, and he requested that a public education campaign runs until April, which he claims will benefit the public, including taxi operators. It must be clearly noted that the commuting public will have challenges come February 2023, as many drivers will not be able to pay their outstanding traffic tickets. We are also making it clear that it will not be business as usual if the system in which we operate that causes us to have these unwarranted traffic tickets is not fixed. This is a warning. We urge all transport operators who can find a way to address the payment of their outstanding traffic tickets to move quickly to do so in the interest of your investment and the commuting public, Newman said, while indicating that members of the taxi operator sectors will meet shortly to assess the government's outstanding traffic ticket break. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.